fun shot, you know?
We did get some fun shots.
You should be live.
Are we on this camera?
Or on that
camera. Boom.
I think you're live.
Okay,
I
cool.
don't see you coming up though.
Am I live? Well, there's usually a little bit of a delay. So.
I don't see you coming up. It says live 15 seconds now, but I don't see you coming up here.
Huh. That is strange. Perhaps reset.
Oh,
there it is.
You're up.
Hey, we're live. Okay, cool. Hey guys, we are live for the first time here in the, well, we're in my studio. So you have probably seen that many times before. I'm here with Paulina. And for the next couple of these live onsets, we're going to do them here while they're doing some revamping in Adorama, and we'll see where it goes from there. But we definitely wanted to keep giving you guys this content, so we're doing it remotely here. If you are on your way to Adorama right now, I'm not there. I know there was some confusion there. We're not at Adorama, even though we're doing this. You guys can still watch it though live, but clearly if you're watching it now, then maybe you're, I don't know. Anyways, it was a confusion. I apologize if you went down there. There'll be some free candy for you next to the register. You can pick that up on your way out. In any case, it is the 13th of February, which is Valentines Day. And I'm here with my gal. Oh, I don't have my gal Sal, although he's my guy Sal, I suppose.
Just tell them to keep us on tabs on how the audio is.
Yeah, let us know about any technical glitches. This is the first time, so if there's anything weird going on, I mean, if the jokes aren't as funny, you know, if the audio gets weird, let us know. Set this on the mighty mix as usual.
The jokes are never funny.
You don't have to yell. It's a very accurate studio. So we're just going to work. This is one of my favorite ones to do. We just use a single light. You know, maybe you had some other lights in your life, and maybe they went away. You know, maybe they found a different studio to be with. They thought was better. Maybe you're just starting and it's your first light. You know, so you got your first. But anyways, you got one light, and you want to make some shots, and we can definitely do that. I think actually starting and building a series of shots using a single light is a great way to do it, because if you start adding too many lights in the beginning, this is a mistake oftentimes people make. They'll come to me and they'll be like, Daniel, that's my name, and they'll be like, I need 3 lights now. What do I do with them? It's like, well, you know, start with 1 light, build up. You'll know when you need more lights. Believe me, you'll be like, I can't do this thing, and then that's when you need it. So I find it's a good way to work, even though I have many lights, probably too many lights. I sometimes still do stuff with 1 light. So we're going to start that way. One of my favorite modifiers, if you're going to only have 1 light, is this 3-foot octa. This particular one, because it's mine, but any 3-foot octa, 3, 4 foot, something like that. They make octas 5 foot. They make octas 2 foot. They might even make a 1 foot, but I don't think so. But they make a 7 foot. Shamira has a 7 foot. Oh. But anyways, 3, I think, is a good size in between, because for most things that you're shooting, it's going to be big enough that it'll still remain soft. Because remember, your hardness and softness is based on the size of your modifier, the size of your light, basically, to your subject. So for most times, unless you're shooting a full-length shot, 3 feet is going to cover the majority of the body you're going to cover, which means you can put it pretty close, which means it's going to be large, which means it's going to be soft. The fact that it's an octa, just the shape of it, is going to help the light kind of wrap around a lot, because when you're working with a single light, you're often going to use reflectors and stuff to kind of bring light back in and kind of shape it. So I think this is a good place to start. We'll get smaller as we go, because I have other smaller modifiers over there, but this is the one that was on the light. So whenever you're choosing the first modifier to start with, you always choose the one that's on the light. Okay, make sure we're looking at the camera. All right, so here it is. I guess we'll put you like right there. Yeah, there you are. As always, you know, with any light. By the way, I have a roller stand. You know, we did a quick test of this, and somebody was like, "You need wheels." Ask and you shall receive. This is a roller stand. This is actually for the Super Boom. Profoto B1X. Again, 3-foot octa. No battery. It wouldn't be an onset if I actually had the batteries on the lights when I was about to start. That would be completely foolish. Why would I ever do that? Okay. What's up? 3A. Okay, so this is in my A group, channel 3. I don't really need to worry too much about what group my lights are in, because I only have 1 light. But you have groups and groups and channels with most of these modern lights that are remote controlled. Yep.
And it's frozen.
The iPad is frozen.
So I'm not sure.
Well, that is unfortunate.
You probably still have it.
All right, well, typically if the iPad freezes, you just can't switch, which is kind of a bummer. All right, so I've got the Profoto remote on top of my camera. I'm making sure it's in the same channel. I'm going to put it on TTL, which means through the lens metering. And I'm going to set everything back at 0. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the, there we go. I'm going to have the remote communicate with my camera to give me a proper exposure. The very first thing we want to do is make sure that my cord is not going to get tangled. Is we want to set up our exposure so that none of the light in the space affects our shot. We do this every time, and we'll do it this time too. So for that, I'm going to turn off my remote. I'm going to set my camera at 100 ISO, which is the lowest ISO within the normal range. I'm going to set it at 1/200th of a second because I usually do it at 1/160, and I get a lot of comments saying, but the camera can sync at 200. Well, there you go. I'll sync at 200 for you guys today because I like you. The third thing will be your aperture. I'm going to set the aperture so that it's closed down enough to make sure that none of the light in the space is affecting my shot. The easiest way to do this is to just kind of point the camera, you know, I'm a mirrorless camera. I'm looking through it, I don't see anything, right? And also I can adjust, I am using the meter in the camera, I'm looking at it, I want to make sure I'm pretty underexposed. At f8, it is completely black. I will take a shot. And sure enough,
Power output of your light.
the power output of the light, it said it's nothing right now.
No, what's the maximum?
Oh, maximum power output of the light is 500 watt seconds. 500. All right, black frame, right? This is our first frame. We're going to look at this. I'm going to grab my capture 1 right here. I'm going to grab the exposure slider and I'm going to drag it over to make sure I'm at least a couple of stops underexposed. You know, 3 is ideal, sometimes more. Oh, there she is. Yeah, about 3 stops, right? There she is. She's starting to come up there. That's basically my range, right? So I know that if in post or whatever I have to bring something up, I can bring it up a little bit and not have these lights infiltrate my shot. If your frame is just barely black or you're just getting little bits of detail in it, that means if in post-processing I need to bring it up like half a stop, I need to make an adjustment on the fly, I'm going to end up bringing up some of the available light, which I don't want in my shot because I want control. This is especially important, by the way. I know that it's hard to see the black frame maybe as, when you're on the back of your camera, but it is very important when you're shooting not tethered, especially because you can't check it, right?
They're asking why TTL.
Why TTL? Well, why not TTL, right? So TTL is through the lens metering. Basically, if your unit is capable of doing it, it's just using the meter in my camera. I trust the meter in my camera. It works really well. Sometimes I'll use a light meter. A lot of times I use a light meter, right? But when I'm just using one light, I'm not really that worried about it, right? When I'm using lots of light, sometimes I have to balance things out or do ratios or whatever, which you can do with TTL too, but with a light meter sometimes it's easier. Single light, TTL generally works really great. Now that I just said that, it will be completely off because that's the way it works. The more that you doubt TTL, the better it works. The more that you say it doesn't work, the worse it works. No, the more you say it works, the worse. Wait a second. So I'm going to put the light more or less in front of her as usual. We're going to put it like this. It's a little low, I think. Let me raise it up. I don't want my light too low. Light generally should come, you know, somewhat from above. It feels more natural that way. Okay, good. That looks pretty good, right? That seems about where we usually put it. I have a grid on it. The grid is going to help control the spread of light. We'll take it off in a second, I guess, but we'll put it on for now. The grid is going to help so that the light doesn't go everywhere. This studio has white floors, a white ceiling, white walls, light bounces everywhere in the studio. So unlike the event space in Adorama that we usually use with kind of the darker floors and all this stuff to absorb, the studio doesn't have that. So I'm almost always using a grid on this box, but we will see how it goes. All right, so let's do the shot. This is the one. This is the money maker. All right, so she's looking at me. I'm focusing. This camera can focus just on the eyeballs, which is pretty cool. Done. All right, guys, thanks for coming. Oh, nobody's here. I can't use that joke anymore. I need new jokes.
You always need a new joke.
I always need jokes. Okay. So this is loop light. All right, so right, it's nice, even light on the face. Again, it's fine, right? You see the background.
Can you shoot at any aperture?
Can I shoot at any aperture? I can. The thing is if I shoot at a different aperture, like let's say f4, I might pick up some of the ambient light in the space. Let's just try it. Just because you ask. I doubt it. It's pretty dark in here. So if I shoot at f4, I turn the flash off, by the way, guys. It's weird that the camera can see her eyes, but I can't. Still, the frame looks pretty black. If I grab my exposure slider, you know, now we're almost 2 stops. So even at f4, I should still be fine. So let's say you're one of those people that really likes f4. You're like, you know what, man? when you're like hanging out with your bestie and you guys are like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite f-stop? F4 is mine. Right, so I'm gonna turn my flash on. Turn my flash around. Okay. Turn my camera on as well. You have to have the flash and the camera on if you want to do things. Take another shot. At f4. Oh, I guess it didn't sync up. Did I turn the camera off? I went too fast. Takes a second for the camera to get recognized. Let's try that again. Good. It's finding your eyeballs. There it is. There we go. There we go. F4. Just for you guys that like F4.
They're asking what the power of the strobe is.
The power of the strobe is 500 watt seconds max. Right this second, it is 5.3. Make a note of that. 5.3. When you're in this studio with Paulina, shooting f4 with the grid, with these lights exactly in this spot, 5.3 is where you want to set your light. So that's like explain that. The actual power of the light, it doesn't really matter. So when you're thinking about lighting, better to think of it like this. The power of this light is on exposure, meaning that if I set my camera at f8, the light should be f8. Doesn't matter what the actual power of the light is. The only time that really matters is if you don't have enough power, right? Then it's like, oh, I don't have enough power. Like, it doesn't matter if the light is 5.3 or 4.8 or 6.2, as long as I'm getting the proper exposure, which is what I'm getting. If I wanted to, let's say I looked at this and I was like, well, that's pretty good, but let's say I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's too dark, right? I could say, well, you know, that's too dark. I'm going to go into my exposure compensation, and I'm going to give it plus, let's say plus 2/3, so it makes a big difference. It's going to be overexposed now. So now I shoot it because I'm like, I like it to be hot, right? Now I'm plus 2/3, right? I'm like, oh, that's like a fashion shot now, right? This one to the left is 0 or on exposure, right? The one to the right, you like the brighter one. Say she likes the brighter one. The brighter one is plus 2/3. So that's how you can think about light when you're using TTL especially, or just in general in life. I actually generally like the lights brighter too, but that's how I would think about it. I wouldn't worry about the actual power level, but I mean, I'll tell you what it is because I'm curious. It's probably like 6-ish. Yeah, 6.5.
If you were shooting fashion, would you use a tighter aperture?
If I was shooting fashion, would I use a tighter aperture than f8? Probably not. F8's pretty good. F8, f11. It depends on how much depth of field you need really at that point. You want your aperture to be closed down enough to reduce so there's no light in the space that's being brought in that's not from you. And then the other part of it is how much depth of field do I care about? You know, I think f8's usually a pretty good place to be.
They're asking what that stand is.
This stand is, it's actually called, I believe, Rolling Stand 4 Super Boom. Rolling Stand 4, oh, the phone is dead or something.
No, I'm looking at it.
Oh, I see there's a thing on the front of it.
Oh.
It's called something like Rolling Stand 4 Super Boom. It's for the Super Boom. Look up Manfrotto Super Boom. This is the stand for it.
It's the only one that shows the stand.
Yeah.
This camera's the only one that shows the stand.
Oh, this camera's the only one that shows the stand. It's a roller though. This is like one of the stupidest but most awesome stands ever. Oh, actually there's a number on it. It is, oh my God, Bogan.
Oh my God, it's gone. That's over.
If anybody knows what Bogan is, yeah, you've been with us for a while. All right, so Bogan is pre-Manfrotto, basically. Bogan is Manfrotto before it was Manfrotto. All right, they were the importer or whatever. So yeah, if you look up the Super Boom, that's the stand for it. It's a pretty good stand. It doesn't go super high, but it does roll, and it's female junior on top, so you can put things into it. Like I have a junior to baby adapter. See, I didn't call it by any kind of name that's offensive to anybody. See, okay, all right, see. All right, that's what the grid, that looks pretty good. She's got that like, I'm gonna do your thing. Right, that's like, right, that's what you did?
Yeah, sure.
That's a fashion.
Sandbag it?
No, I don't need to sandbag it.
That's what they're asking.
No, I wouldn't sandbag it. Not like this. You generally don't sandbag this stand, you can. If you had the Super Boom on it, you would put a pumpkin. But if you want to sandbag it, you put the sandbag in the center. You want me to sandbag it? I'm gonna sandbag it. I think they just want to see me move stuff. I'm gonna use this sandbag. You know why I'm gonna use this sandbag?
It's full of rocks.
It's full of rocks, and it's also an Impact sandbag. Sponsored by Impact. I didn't buy that. All right, there you go, sandbag. Done. I'm getting tired here. All right. Okay, we started with the grid, so the background is nice and dark, right? I mean, this is actually pretty good. Sometimes you do it too good and then you don't have to do anything else. But, you know, since we want to get paid more, I know you guys think that these are only available at Adorama, but what I have here, by the way, don't tell Seth that I rolled the cart over it earlier.
Yeah, we're gonna talk.
I was like, why is the cart so hard to push? That adds some effect to make it a little nicer. You want to make sure your silver reflectors are... Okay, so this is a foam core, a Brooklyn reflector as we call them. This is what they look like after I use them. They're not so perfect. But luckily I have Seth here who makes them with his squeegee. All right, so let's say we want to fill in the light. We want to make it a little bit more kind of flat, a little bit more juicy. By the way, it's important to keep in mind that I'm set to plus 2/3 on my light, because if I decide to switch to manual or whatever, I'm going to want to remember that. So I will remember it. I remember it's plus 2/3. I'm going to bring the reflector in. We'll bounce the light back. She's going to look all like fashiony, like, I'm a fashion model, right? Boom, now it's flat. There we go. Flat light, contrasty light. I like the vibe of the hair. So can you do that again with the... It's like a push, a side swipe.
I don't think I moved. But...
No, you didn't, but you have that vibe going. It doesn't matter if they move or not. That's how good of a model she is.
I'll try.
Yeah, she's gonna. You have to just do it with your. You have to do it with your vibe. Don't actually move yet. There you go. See, there you go. See, she did it again. Boom. So that's filled in. See, shadow. No shadow. I did one of these demos that I called sculpting light. And I talk about why we always do this to show you, with this, I'm pointing with the reflector, you can't see. I always do this to show you guys what it looks like, but honestly, sometimes shadow is better, you know? There was this painter, I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I actually like the shadow in this case. But you know what, let's do this. Let's mess with this a little bit more. Let's take the grid off. Let's say you don't have $700 for the grid. That's super loud in the microphone, I'm sure. It's important to note that hanging the grid here is the cool way to do it, right? If you don't hang the grid there, you will 100% lose it. Now here's the advantage of being in TTL, hopefully. I'm gonna blow it right now, but I'd have a TTL not work when I do this. Are you taking enough? Oh, okay. All right. Now it has a beard. It's like a goatee. Is it from Brooklyn?
$1 billion for the grid. You're gonna let it hang and down?
It's got like a hipster beard. It's like
It
you made it a hipster.
is.
Yeah, like a goatee, right? Yeah. All right. It's a Brooklyn light now, I guess. All right. So I'm gonna have 4. All right, here we go. But I'm plus 2/3. Let's see what this does. Okay, so now we see, right, that even without a reflector, by taking the grid off, the light kind of circles around and wraps around a little bit more. So we get actually a little bit more kind of fill in here, if you will, versus the contrast we have here. The light itself is not softer or harder, right? It just has to do with the place the light's spreading to, right? The light's spreading and wrapping around. So, you know, if you want to use a grid to keep the light in check, but then you want to fill in a bit, you can throw a reflector in. If you want to just not have to deal with that, you can just not use the grid, right? Easy as that. What if we use the grid and a reflector? Oh, man. I am going nuts. There is so much going on here. I'm gonna use the white side. I know, it's crazy. All right, here we go. What if I'm thinking about selling advertisement on the outside of this, so then every time I pick it up like that, we should do that, right? Okay. I wonder if Flashpoint will give me money for that. Good. All right. Fill in, makes it a little bit more even, a little even Steven. Right? So here, again, even though this is pretty filled in, it's more contrasty, right? The bounce gives us that little flatness that comes in, right? And that's basically, part of that's the TTL, right? The TTL is like, and does it. That's how TTL speaks. It's TTL language. It's kind of like RTT2 a little bit. People like that new robot that like has the 2 balls that roll together.
BB-8.
BB-8, yeah. For some unknown reason, my mother gave me a BB-8 figure. She just showed up with it. I was like, oh yeah, I did have Star Wars figures when I was 10, but thank you.
People seem confused as to why we're doing it here.
We are here because they're revamping the space at Adorama. So if you are used to going to Adorama, you'll just have to watch us online for right now. I know, you don't get the free candy, you don't get, Seth comes out and hugs everybody. You guys don't know this if you don't come to the live ones, but after each session, Seth gives a personal hug to every person that shows up.
Until they yell stranger danger, and then I'm like, no, it's cool. No.
He's like, oh man, I know I come off as hard and everything, but come here, let me give you some love.
Are you kidding me right now?
So, you're gonna miss that. Oh, this is what happens when there's nobody here to watch us. All right. Right now, Adorama's online watching this going, what are they doing? No. So it's the next couple of events. So this one and then next Thursday, we'll be shooting from here. From after that point, we're going to figure it out. We're not exactly sure, but with the live streams will not stop. So, if you're used to going to the store and doing it, you could sit in the store and just on your phone and watch it. I'm sure they'll love that. Just buy stuff too, though, because otherwise they're going to be like, why are you here?
Fernando says that.
Fernando! All right, let's do something else.
Okay.
Let's do this. Let's say, for instance, we got this beautiful fashion gray background. Thank you, Savage. I was like, because Adorama never buys me a background, and I was like, Savage, I got to do the things at my studio now, and they were like, I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to hook you up. So thank you. Susie from Savage. So go ahead and back up. I know I could just buy it like a regular person, but I was like, which I usually do. So let's give me a dirty look now. All right, here we go. Closer to the wall.
I'm on a delay. I didn't know what you say yet.
Yeah, it's true. There's a delay on everything, so we're waiting. All right, so let's say we want to work closer to the background. What's going to happen is we're going to throw some kind of a shadow on there, right? But the bigger light source is going to give us some more diffuse shadow.
Who's on the Adorama name?
What, somebody's on the Adorama?
Yeah, they're just saying, what are you guys doing?
Oh, great. It's probably Fernando. Oh, maybe it's Dennis. I have no access to that. All right, now we've got a gray background, right? Now it's like, high school picture. Oh.
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that.
Yep.
How do you spend all day with him?
It's been a long day, guys. All right, right? Okay, so let's right. So be like, because, Paulina's an actress, so she's going to be possibly in the next version of Beverly Hills 90210 that they're going to come out with, right? Yeah. So she can do the See, there we go. There you go, right? High school Paulina. She's like, I'm from Beverly Hills. I don't know. All right, so again, having the light closer to the background is going to allow us to light our background. So keep that in mind. If you only have one light, the distance to your subject, to the light, to the subject, to the bathroom, Did I say bathroom? Background. Distance from the light to the subject to the background is super important, right? We're going to go, here we got the background basically looking about right? And she looks fine. Everybody looks good. It all looks good, right? If we move them, let's move you and the light forward using the inverse square law. And we go like this. We keep the distance between Paulina and the back, and then the light the same, but we go greater distance to the background, and then we do a similar shot. She's like, right? The background's going to get darker, right? Now we have darker background. This has to do with inverse square, right? So we can control our background. That's how we're going to have to control it. We only have one light, right? It's like, oh my God, I only have one light. What am I going to do? Well, how light falls, right? And then I'm like, no, but I want the background to be super dark. Well, now either I need a lot more space, which I don't have. It's Manhattan, space is expensive. Or I have to think about the angle of the light, right? I can take the light, I can spin it further away from the background, right? Sometimes you see us do this. A lot of times I'll get like a new photo assistant or something, and I'll like set the light up and it'll be like that, and they'll be looking at me like, why am I working for this guy? But light comes like this, right? It's gonna hit her, I hope. I'm right at the edge here, I'm pushing it. Dave's like, I don't know if this is gonna work, Daniel. Dave's here, by the way. If you guys, did we see Dave at the beginning? And Dave! All right, all right, so let's see what happens here. The light's kind of pointed at me. We're gonna see if it scoops past. There we go, it worked. Right? Now we have different degrees of separation. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right? If you want it even darker, that's when you have to start thinking about things like the grid or using flags to block it. Or, I don't know, stop being so cheap and buy a roll of black paper, Daniel, right? I mean, you can do it that way as well. What? Nothing, okay, good. All right, let's put the grid back on. See, normally we do this whole thing, then I put the grid on, and it's like, oh, but we started with the grid because I was like already had it on because, I don't know. I had an egg salad sandwich with arugula, which was pretty good actually. We're gonna have to do some kind of separation light because Dave's here. All right. We'll put this back on. We could use a mirror. Oh, should we use mirrors?
Can you just say that the compression of YouTube is probably affecting some things on the image quality on that?
So the compression on YouTube is going to affect the image quality on this a bit. So if you're seeing weird stuff, like color cast, blown highlights, et cetera, it might be a YouTube issue. We're assuming.
Somewhere in there you put, you said egg salad.
Yeah, I did say egg salad.
Okay.
Yeah. I had egg salad. Yeah, if you look here, there's nothing blown here. I mean, I'm looking at my numbers.
Well, some of them are saying it's got a greenish tint, but it doesn't. I'm looking at it on this.
Yeah, there's no green tint. Actually, the tint is actually pretty nice. It's like a. I'm not even going to do it. All right, we're not going to go there. We could white balance it. Should we white balance it? Do you guys want to see how to white balance? Let's white balance something. By the way, every time I do one of these at Adorama, I'm always like, oh, where's my white balance thing? Oh, it's at the studio. This is the PhotoVision digital target. It is awesome. It is a little bit old. This one's actually kind of old. It is a little bit yellow, actually, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to see if this is going to work. All right.
Warm tone going on.
We got a little warm tone. This is a warm card. This is black, gray, and white. Wow, this one's super old, huh? Oh, all right, well. Also has a silver reflector on the back. What you will do is we're going to have Paulina hold it in front of her grill. This is going to be very unsuccessful. It's going to make her a little cool because it's a warm card. So what it should do is make it neutral. All right. All right, let's see. If I grab this bad boy, oh, I'm in auto white balance. I have no idea why. Let's put it there. It's perfect because it's an auto white balance. How would it get an auto white balance? Will you mess with my camera again?
I didn't mess with your camera.
I don't even know how to put. Oh, there we go. Okay.
I know how to use this camera. Let me show you guys how to use it. Hold on.
Oh, you can't see my screen though, right?
Feel free to learn to use this camera.
I gotta tell you, the auto white balance was kind of killing it. Good job, Nikon. Natural light auto, direct sunlight.
Just go
Flash?
on 5000K.
I'm gonna put it on Kelvins, not Hobbs, and I'm gonna put it on 5000K. Because that's what Seth is recommending.
You're gonna tell me, oh, that's too blah blah.
I'm gonna tell him it's too blah blah, but we're gonna try it. All right, so hold that in front of your grill. Okay. Oh, that still looks pretty good. Do you know why it looks good? Because it's taking the thing from the list. So I'm gonna go here, boom, and I'm gonna go, I'm in white balance here, shot. Nope, not custom. Shot. There we go. It says 5600.
That's strange.
I probably should set up the camera before we, all right, Kelvin.
I like how you're like, don't touch the camera before we go live.
Yeah, I did say don't touch it. Because you were like, update my thingy. And I was like, oh, I see, you have to hit OK. All right, try that again. Good thing nobody's watching. All right, here we go.
So you know what it is? If you didn't hit OK, it doesn't say this.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, so this looks perfect because I kept the last setting, but instead of doing that, I'm going to switch to 5000. Oh, and it actually looks kind of cool. That's interesting.
That's how I shoot it.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is actually, so when you click on this, it can give you some different ideas. That's 54, 59. The black is giving me 61. Whoosh. All right, we're just gonna leave it on 5,000 because Seth said 5,000.
I mean, that's what I usually keep.
And Seth has been using Nikon for 64 years. Nope, we're good.
There you go. That's how you keep it really nice and white.
Yeah, well, I'm going to toss that one because clearly that one needs to be thrown away because the color is completely off. I don't know where there we go. All right, so now, oh yeah, this does look like a Seth shot. That is how you shoot. Look at that. Aha, now I know the secret. Guys, if you want to shoot like Seth, 5,000. 5,000 white balance. I'm feeling I'm like a little hot. I'm going to only go to look slightly towards the light like this, like a baller.
Yeah, I just don't know what we're on. It's frozen.
Okay, so we've switched to 5,000 white balance. Wow, it really does have a different look to it. Huh? It's like crispy.
I know. Dan, you might not be on the screen.
Yeah, we might not be on the screen. Who knows what's going on right now, guys? This is the first time. Feels like the first time. Should we do like more of a beauty shot? You guys want to see more of it? We're going to do a beauty next week, but we could do kind of a beauty shot. Yeah, actually, let's do this. Watch this, guys.
You back?
I'm back, and better than ever. So one of the cool things about shooting with an octagon is that, oh man, Profoto is not going to give me the $4 they give me if their logo's upside down.
The headphones tell me I have a phone call.
Oh, my phone's ringing, guys. Sorry. Oh, it's potential spam. I better get it.
It's telling you have a potential phone call.
Oh my God. This is our first time. Okay. So what's cool about this is sometimes it's nice to shoot like right under your light because you know you see us boom the light all the time, but sometimes you can't boom it because maybe you don't have an arm. Even though I have an arm right here. So what's cool about this is generally you can get closer to the box with the Octa. That's the other reason why I like it. So let's do this. This is the close to the box Octa. My lens is so short though I don't really need to do this, but we'll do it. Good. Again, I'm still in TTL. Oh, look at that. Nice and clean, right? Clean bean. McQueen. I don't like this white balance. Sorry. I gotta change it back. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna switch it to, I don't even know what, a 5600.
Do daylight. Just do daylight.
I'm gonna change it to 5600.
Is my style too cold for you?
Yeah, I like warm. Yeah, see? That's how we do it in Mexico City.
I like cold.
Exactly.
That's right. So this is funny because Seth likes it cold, but I used to work for this photographer. Oh, am I flaring the lens? No. And one of the things he was like, commercial stuff is always warm. That's how I always remember him saying that. We'd always put an 81B on everything.
Oh, jeez.
It was like warm. And then when he was getting the huge checks, I was like, yeah, that's what I should do. All right, so a little fill. Looks good. Your hair is like so perfectly symmetrical.
I know.
How'd you do that?
I don't know.
It's like, wow.
Well, you cut the top of your head.
I know, I'm wondering if people think you're bald because I cut the top of your head.
She's matching your hair now.
That's literally my hairstyle. All right, so let's come in. I'll get the top of your head. I want to get the top of her head just because, people love that. People love the top of your head. It's such an awkward crop to show the top of somebody's head. Like, who does that? Like, that's just the weirdest crop ever. I don't get that. No offense, guys. No offense, guys. All right, one more time. You need a longer lens. All right, here we go. I'll compromise by showing a little bit of her hair, but not all of it. All right, that's just a fill, right? So we're actually getting, now note though, we're using the grid, right? Yeah, yep. And we're getting a bit of a, I don't know why I'm pointing. People can't see if I point. We're getting a bit of a vignette here on the background. So keep that in. I'm just like pointing at the screen with my finger. Here it is.
We're used to pointing to a TV.
Yeah, we're used to pointing to the TV. So, everything has its benefits and losses. I don't know, benefits and whatever. But we're getting a bit of a vignette here. So if we don't want the background to have a vignette there, I either have to move her closer, I got to switch off the grid. So keep that in mind when you're doing this kind of stuff. When you only have one light, you got to think about all those things, right? All that stuff is super important. So let's do one without the grid, so we can try to get that vignette off the background a little bit. Now I know that you guys often probably spend, not everybody, what? Loud?
Maybe while you talk.
Let me put some disco music on.
Let me say the meaning of life while I rip this grid off.
You know what the secret is? All right, so I took
The
that.
only thing you need to know in life is.
Velcro is like the loudest thing in the world, but also very satisfying. Okay. All right, again, no grid, right? Oh, okay, it's still kind of vignette-y. You are not winning. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get a little bit less of a vignette. Yeah, we're still getting it. So if you're going to have this situation, you know what this is his lens doing, that do you? Could this lens have a vignette in it, Seth?
No, I don't know.
I don't feel like the light should have a vignette.
Shot enough with that lens to tell you.
Let me try something. We're discovering something, guys. No, I can see it. See, guys, you can see the light on the background. Vignette. If you're ever unsure, take that picture. That right there is like Instagram gold. Like you take that picture, you'd be like, what? It's fashion, man. It's in the moment. This is where I live. I live here. You like that, don't you? See, she likes it, I'm telling you.
No.
No, she does not. She doesn't like it. She likes it in general, just not her face. But you know.
Saying next live stream we should switch places and see how we do that. Check out my channel. We did that.
We did switch places. Basically, last time what we did was we got all the screw ups done during my live stream, and then Seth did a really smooth live stream, but with mediocre switching. All right.
You do have mediocre switching.
Yes. My switching is not great. All right.
When you have a delay on your Daniel reaction time, don't
Yes.
drive stick. You like how it works.
This is the cover of my book. Well, I'm going to do a book. This is the cover. I'm sorry. It's done. All right. She's happy. She's happy to be on the cover. See, right? At first she doesn't like it. Then I'm like, it's the cover of a book. She's like, oh, a cover of a book. All right. That's
I
cool.
like how her response to you was always this.
Yeah. All right. This is, oh, actually, we're going to answer the question that people always have in this stream. Because we have your beauty dish and my beauty dish.
With the silver and
The silver versus the white.
You want the white one?
Yeah, we're going to do both.
I'll get it.
Oh, so that's going offset. All right, this is a beauty dish. There are many like it, but this one is mine. This is silver. Seth's making noise.
Whenever you're ready.
This beauty dish belongs to Seth, just in case you couldn't tell. Seth, you know, lives in one of those places where you got to write your name on stuff, or
Brooklyn.
it's going to take Somebody walking down the street with this box and says, "That's my box. How do you know it's your box? Well, my name's on it." Well, all right. Maybe you're right there.
You also know what happens here if you don't.
No, I know. Yeah. Okay, this is a silver beauty dish. Silver beauty dish is going to be actually. I'm going to go no grid too. I know. We are hardcore today. Oh, that was loud. All right, here we go. Step forward and be judged. We're going to do a kind of a Rembrandt light, which is exactly what you shouldn't do with a beauty dish. You should never, there's nothing you shouldn't do. Let's just say that. How did Gavin do it? He said like 45 degrees. I'm trying to figure it out. All right, here we go. All right.
How do you do this?
So, I don't look at enough art to know. All right. All right, I'm going to reset my TTL back to 0 because I know this is going to be more specular. It's going to be specularly spectacular. And I'm going to take a shot with the beauty. So look at me like you're hardcore. Yeah, oh, there you go. Because it's silver. Silver's always hardcore. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's nice. All right, so I think it's the camera. All right, so we got punchy, right? Highlight here. Nice and sharp image, silver. Right? I kind of like that, actually. I like that.
Yeah.
This is why I use a silver one, right? It's good, right? It's got a nice look. This is the look that I typically associate with the beauty dish, although oftentimes you're going to put a grid on it. Let's throw the white one on there to show you the difference. The white one's going to be a little bit creamier. And we should bring down our specular highlights a little bit. Get the science of it. This is like brand new in the box.
It is not brand new.
It is brand new in the box.
You know that's not brand new.
Somebody put the grid in backwards though, because there's no little doobie. How do I get the grid out? Oh, it's gonna stick around. Just in case you toss the box thinking you're gonna get away with something. Okay.
Yeah, it's ovalized, so you gotta.
Oh yeah, when you put the grid in there, you gotta put it with this on the outside so that we can pull it back out again. I don't know how to put a grid in the Octabox, but I know how to put one in a beauty dish. Oh, this beauty dish is not as nice as I thought. I'm just going to say. It's got a scratch here. Okay.
Yeah, of course it's got a scratch. It's my beauty.
Okay. White beauty dish. So if you watch this video right now and you can't tell the difference between these two, I recommend just buying both.
You're asking if they're the same size dish.
They're the same size. One is white, one is silver. Good. Perfecto. A little Spanish there. Oh. There it is. That's the difference.
No snap.
What's the difference, Paulina? Tell me.
Brighter.
Right. It's brighter.
That's it.
Yep. It's this less contrasty, right? Like look at the contrast here between your specular highlight to your neutral, right? You can see the difference there. Also, look at the background. Brighter, right? Because the silver actually has a tighter beam angle. So silver beauty dish is tighter, so you're going to get darker shadows, right? It's going to be more specular, so it's overall just more contrasty, right? White one is a little bit more gentle, a little bit more like Seth. Like I have the silver one because I'm like hard and punchy and
It was free.
and Seth has the actually I got it for like $99. Seth has the white one because he's gentle. It was also free. He has the white one because it's like gentle and beautiful.
I want to sand it, make it silver.
No,
We should
no, I like
sand
the
it
white.
in sections so it's silver and white.
Don't do that.
Soft silver.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'll do it.
Don't do it. Just go use your Speedotron one. All right.
My Speedotron dish is dope.
I know it's the best. Speedotron dish, by the way, guys. If you want to know a secret.
Right there.
A secret tool that not many people know about, I guess. Speedotron's beauty dish is like one of the nicest beauty dishes, and it's super cheap too.
It's got like a translucent,
And what's cool about it is,
translucent dish.
unlike most of these beauty dishes, you can actually pull this back piece off. Yeah, see? You can actually unscrew all this in the back and put like a different one on there. You can mod these out for different.
I have a translucent disc.
It's translucent.
So it gradates.
Yeah,
more.
this is a great beauty dish. So,
Yeah.
and it's white, but it's like pearlescent. Pearlescent?
It's the translucent deflector that does a lot.
Yeah, it's a great beauty dish. So if you want to do, if you want to really have a cool beauty dish, that's the one.
And it has a sewer drain grid.
Yes.
What I need to do is put a pro photo adapter on it.
Yeah, I would do that. We should do that as a project. All right, so step forward. All right, here we go. We're in a beauty dish situation. We're going with the white. And let's see. So she comes forward.
Right there.
Perfect. All right, so when you're using this, you know, this kind of dish, this is the white one, by the way. I'm going to bring it up so that it's basically low enough that it's going to be right over my camera. It's generally a good place to put it. And let's see what we get if we do this. Essentially, it's a giant on-camera flash, right? Again, I'm in TTL. Look at how clean that is. Clean.com. Now, if you really, really want to take it to the next level, little reflector. What do you think? Yeah, there we go. Focusing. So this camera like finds your eyeball and then focuses on it. It's pretty weird. Yet awesome. It's very flat. See, I actually think it's too flat.
Way too flat.
Yeah, too flat. So no reflector with that one. I recommend no reflector.
The grid's nice on the white though.
Yeah, we'll put a grid on it. Let's see. Good. Right? Yeah, definitely better with no reflector. Let's put a grid on. Again, grid is going to now, because remember the white has a wider spread. So put the grid on, it's going to reduce the spread. It's also going to increase the contrast. See, here's the thing though. A grid is going to increase the contrast basically in your shadows. Being silver increases the contrast in your highlights. So a silver beauty dish with a grid is, wow, this is all bent.
It's mobilized.
Yeah. Is going to be like more punchy, more contrasty overall, where the white one is going to be smoother in the highlights, but punchier in the shadows. So it's going to be good for people that have, let's say, shiny skin that you don't want to overly shine it. This is why you want both beauty dishes. I mean, why not? You get $900 laying around.
Just use a piece of Tupperware.
Don't do that. Like Gary Fong. Basically use a Gary Fong, it's the same thing. All right, so we got darker background, it automatically chops off the top of her head. But we see now, so it's not that like boring flat, right? Like this is a little bit kind of flat, although it's still nice, but this is like, it's got snap. That's not a snap, that's a clap. Snap. I wasn't sure I'd be able to do that. I haven't snapped my fingers in a long time.
Like a mom trying to dance at a bar mitzvah.
I've actually never been to a bar mitzvah. Nobody ever invited me. So if anybody's having a bar mitzvah and they want to invite me, yeah, that's pretty nice, right? Clean, commercial, punchy, but still smooth because it's white. There you go, white beauty dish. It's a question we get all the time. You come here with the questions, we go here with the answers. Something like that. Any questions online, or people are just like, why are you here?
They want to know if you bought your mom Valentine's Day flowers.
I did not buy my mom flowers for Valentine's Day. Do not do that. I am enough of a gift. Oh, so she says. All right. Next modifier. It's important because you saved all your money on only buying one per photo flash that you buy as many modifiers as possible. So
It's
let's.
the most expensive one, Shamir.
Yes. No, actually, to be honest, this is not that expensive. This is the Shamir Extra Extra Small. I've been using this a lot lately. I love this box. And it is Valentine's Day, or Galentine's Day, so I got to go with what I love. And you know. By the way, Shamira, Shamira, Shamira. There we go. For all the people that are going to tell me I don't pronounce it correctly. Yep.
The magic finger.
All right, I'm going to explain the magic finger.
They want to know what it is.
This is a magic finger.
Oh my God. You didn't do it? You're right there?
No, I'm thinking we have two. I was going to get another one. I could show it better. I don't know what the other one is.
Oh, where is it?
Hold on, let me get the other magic finger, guys. Stand by.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Go for it.
See, there's a lot of cool stuff at Adorama, but I mean, you could get this at Adorama, I suppose. That's a magic finger. Basically, instead of a grip head at the end, it has this 5/8 stud and a little doodad here, so you can move it all around. So it's a ball head, yep. This is the magic finger. You can buy just the magic finger for like $1 less than the whole damn thing. I don't know why you, I guess somebody needs that, but get the whole thing. It's like, it's not cheap though, it's like 120 bucks, but worth it, worth it. Magic finger, I recommend it. All right, good, magic finger, there you go.
Colossal beauty dishes.
Colossal beauty dishes are basically just soft boxes. I'm sorry. Sorry to blow your minds. What I'll say about that is this, which is what I always say about that. If you use a beauty dish and you love the way a beauty dish looks, you're not going to be happy with the Colossal beauty dish as a replacement. It doesn't look the same. It's not the same thing. It's not a bad thing. It just isn't the same thing. So, yeah, not the same. Although, honestly, the best one, and I'm not just saying that because I happen to have this in my hand, the Shamir one. Because it's more rounded and kind of flattish. It has the better shape, yeah. Most of the other ones are basically, they're like, we have an octagon. Put a deflector in there. It's a beauty dish. No, it's not. Okay.
My favorites are they like, I want a beauty dish. Yeah, but you put the deflector plate in, so
Yeah.
it's just a giant reflector.
Right, doing nothing, yes. We're talking about you, Gary. All right, so. Small softbox, right? Small softbox is going to be soft? No, well, it's softbox, right? So it's going to be more diffused than the beauty dish. Because even though the beauty dish is, even the white one, got light kind of bouncing around, this is going to go through 2 levels of diffusion. So we're going to have a more diffuse light, but it's a little bit smaller. So it's actually going to technically be a little bit harder. I know, it's weird. The softbox is hard. It is pronounced Shamira 100%. Now, the mythical beast is not. But, you know, I'm not dealing with that. That's my other podcast. Sure. I know, you blinked and everything else. Oh, but no, you got a lot of attitude. Softbox. Beauty dish. Softbox, smoother, right? Smooth, right? Beauty dish, happy, right? Smooth, happy, right? That's it, difference. Also, if you notice, it's a little bit warmer. I know, it's crazy. Modifiers you put in front of your light are going to shift the color temperature. Generally, the more diffusion you add, the warmer it tends to get. Keep that in mind. That's why you don't do a custom white balance until you get your light all set up and ready to go. So if you are doing something that is color sensitive, make sure you get all your lights set and properly in exposure before you do the custom white balance with the thing that I tried to show you earlier that was screwed up. Okay. I actually have an actual right chart in there somewhere. Good. Softbox, right? Also, right, we're getting this like kind of charcoaly gray on the back, right? Because only a little bit of light's creeping past. So we're getting that. It's kind of nice. We could throw a reflector in there if we wanted to. We could do it. Can we do it? We could do it. Watch this. We're doing it. Reflector. Silver even. Boom, 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 boom. You know what we're going to end up with is the Magnum. That's basically where we're going with this. This is all going to the Magnum. Not Magnum PI. Right? Flat filled. That might be too much. Let's go with white. So we're just creating really simple shots right now just to kind of show you guys, because I'm sure this is like 90% of like what you're going to do when you're trying to start with one light is just kind of make good evenly lit shots that people are going to want, you know? But now that we've done that, I feel like let's do something more dramatic, right? One light, we might as well get dramatic. No? Okay. I don't know. There's people here, they're watching. My mom's watching. All right. I do like the wheeled stand. It's kind of nice. Step forward.
Cool if you can lock the wheel.
It could be cool. Even more forward so it's next to you. And then turn and look at it. And then take a step that way. Put your right hand in,
Yeah.
put your right hand down. Okay. Now we're going to do a side lit shot, right? When we're lighting somebody from the side, is this called split lighting? Put the modeling light on. All right. Even if you're not going to actually do anything, it's important just to like touch the light. Like just go when the model gets a bit. Good, good, good. That's good. Work your face just like this a little bit. Right there. All right, so we're going to kind of light her more dramatically from the side. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, moody, right? This is one of those situations where, you know, now, right, we can actually use our reflector if we want, but if I just take the reflector and make it even, like this, like I'm going to fill it in. It's kind of like, you know, well, that's pretty good. Forget what I was going to say. No, I mean, if you're going to fill it in nice and even, oftentimes it's not going to work. In this case, her hair kind of came over and gave almost a perfect Rembrandt. It's actually not a Rembrandt. It just happens to be the hair's throwing a shadow. That's not a Rembrandt. But no, the hair is actually kind of interesting. If we make it too even, it's not really going to work. But what you can do with the reflector, this is something to keep in mind. Remember that the distance from the subject to the background and the subject to the light is super important. Same thing with reflectors, right? If I put the reflector super close, like this, right, it's going to fill in a lot, right? If I bring it back, it's only going to fill in a little bit. So you can actually control that just by moving the distance around to control. There we go. So that's nicer. Somewhere, you know, here she's a detective. She's out. She wants to know what happened. Who took her partner's lunch from the refrigerator or whatever happens in detective shows. I don't really watch detective shows, although they're very popular. I don't really watch it. My mom watches it. CSI and all that. NCS, WI. I like the one that Ice-T is in. I just like Ice-T. The drink and the guy. All right, go ahead and turn and face the light with your whole body. Okay, you can just turn your face. To the light. Sorry. You're the only one here to pick. There's no audience for me to pick on, so I have to focus on picking up on. Right? We can also do it with other reflectors. We had to bring the light in, right? We can create shape and tone and style just by moving our light to the side to create more interesting images, right? It's really, really easy. Just, of course, keep in mind that now I have no light on my background and there's really no way I'm going to get light in the background. So you just have to, all these things are always going to be a factor when you're using one light. So think about it with your compositions and stuff. Let's see what happens if we switch to a bigger light source, right? So now let's say, okay, this is working out. This looks pretty good. We like the side thing, right? The side vibe, it's like moving in from the side. Let's go with the bigger light again. You're like, Daniel, you started with the bigger light. Yeah, I know I did. Sometimes you got to go back to the beginning in order to find out where you're going in life. Roots and all that. The roots make up the plant or whatever. Getting very philosophical here.
It's almost over, don't worry.
It's all right. You know what? Nobody wants to see this again, do they? You don't want to see this, do you? You're like, Daniel, we already saw that. But you said, give us a big light source. What am I going to use? I don't have a big light source. What am I going to do? What? Oh, look at this. My acting is superb. No, I wasn't acting. I was emulating. All right. This is the V flat. This is not a V flat from V flat world because those are over there somewhere. The V flat is going to allow us to have a very large light source, right? We're going to bounce our light into the V flat, and it's going to come across like whoosh. Yeah, you like that, right? Step like me right there, though. There you go, perfect. I don't think we've used a V flat yet, have we? This might be your first V flat.
You could use a V flat with a V flat.
What's that?
You could use the V flat with a V flat.
Yeah, well, I have one. I just don't want to take it out. Okay, so V flat going on. Boom. Little double tap there. Look at that. Flat. Commercial. Beautiful. One light. Out of focus for some reason. Let's take one that's not out of focus. Good thing nobody's watching. All right. Beautiful. Okay, right? Clean, right? And the light's coming from the side. Yet we still have this clean overall vibe. And I'm still at f4, guys. Right now the power on the light is what? 6.6. 6.6 now. 6.6 if you want to know. Light's bouncing in. Now I know, right, for those of you that might just be watching right now, because you just logged in, you're just like, that just looks really flat, Daniel. Why are you even lighting it at all? It just looks like exactly like the light in the room. But remember that, in fact, if I do not use the flash, that's what I get. So all this soft, creamy light is created by my single light bouncing into this V flat that Paul made in 1985.
But he did it proper with the edge.
He did. He actually, by the way, this is the right way to make a V flat.
Yeah.
The tape on, although now it's getting yellow, but the tape on the inside is white. Black edging so it doesn't get screwed up. This is a proper V flat, Paul. Good for you. That's how they did them back in the 80s.
What lens are you using?
I am using the 24 to 70 f4 Z lens. Actually, it's already getting enough light in the background, but what if we wanted more light in the background? What if I was like, man, that's not enough light in the background? Well, guess what? They don't call it a V flat for nothing. It's shaped like a V. I had it in the L mode. That was an L flat. This is a V flat. V is for V. Flat. All right. I know, all you guys that go out there and buy 7-foot octas and you're like, I'm going to go outside. The V flat is like the, good, clean, let's see. Oh, now we're at 6.7. And look, we got more light in the background. I think you get a little tiny closer to it. Step back a little bit. Yeah, okay, good. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Nice and even, nice and clean. I think that vignette is part of the, it's on the lens. I'm having it in every single shot. I'm actually going to raise this a smidge. So one thing I'm noticing here, because the light is so side, depending on how she turns her head, it's not so even. So I'm just going to take this V flat and I'm going to put it this way. Also, guys, if you just have a wall in your house that's white, bounce it off that, right? Let's see what this looks like. There we go, right? Nice and clean. Why am I getting a vignette? What is happening, Seth? Is it something in the lens?
Take the hood off for a second. And try to step farther back and see if the vignette follows the lens or it's...
There's something weird going on. Well, for some reason, too, the face detection is detecting not her face. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it's still there in the corners. It followed the lens.
Maybe it's got a vignette when you zoom.
Yeah, I never noticed it before, though.
That's weird.
I did something to this clearly.
Lens correction checked off on.
Yeah, there's something going on here with the vignette. That's my style. That's my style. Actually, let me do this. Nope, that didn't do anything.
It's actually vignette control in the menu. So I wonder if you hit something.
Yeah, I probably hit something in the menu. I mean, God only knows what I did with this camera. Okay.
You want to take a look at it real quick?
Yeah, go ahead and take a look at it for a second. So let's take a second to just kind of go over it. Well, we won't show the bad picture. All right. Again, here we are, right? This is a one single V-flat, one head bouncing in, creating a nice even look, nice commercial kind of clean look against a gray background, right? We can come over here. You guys have to tell me how I shot these because I can't remember anymore. This is the small softbox, right? Creating some mood because we like the mood, right? We got a white. Which white beauty just shot do we like? This one?
See, I don't see it through the camera.
So you think it's capture one?
Well, it's weird that you're seeing a vignette at all. I don't see it.
I agree because it's a mirrorless camera. So I feel like there's something going on with the yeah.
You just see
Yep.
does that fix it?
I can't tell because I mean, yeah. I don't know if the corners are just dark up there.
You just try it out and
Yeah.
just put it in vignette control high, whatever that is.
Aha! We put it in the vignette control high.
I have no idea what that is.
It's so weird that it finds your eyeball. Oh, jeez. Nope, still there. It's got to be in capture one.
No idea.
There's something going on. I probably have something set funny on the computer, but don't worry about it, guys. Vignettes are cool. All the cool kids are doing it this year. Yeah.
The lens correction, you think?
Yeah.
You're working with raw files.
Yeah.
So it would be
Chromatic aberration, high distorted area, diffractive correction.
Jeez, that's a lot of corrections. What's interesting is that the digital cameras, this is actually one of the great things about shooting like this, is that they will know. A lot of times you can go in there and put it in so you kind of know. Like it knows what lens you have. No, I'm not going to worry about it. It's just weird. I didn't notice it earlier. Did you notice it earlier? No, but I also wasn't shooting something so flat.
Like a month now.
Yeah, I know. That's why I think I must have just hit something. Because I've shot a gazillion pictures. I haven't noticed that. Okay. Pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
Let's do one final thing. All right, here we go. We're cranking here. You know what we're going to use?
He thinks that this.
Right? We used a V-flat, which is big, flat, even, soft, light, right? Other end of the spectrum, the Magnum reflector. This is my favorite reflector, partially because it's such a cool name, Magnum, right? It's punchy, it's hard, because it's small, but it's also silver, so it's going to be very specular. So we're going to get punchy, hard, specular light. I do not own the grid for this because the grid for this is $1.5 gazillion. Someday I will get one. They do make a Magnum for the OCF if you're like a Profoto OCF guy. Or gal. I like this one better. Sorry, Profoto. They tell some guy, it was a guy for sure, did a video or a test and the OCF one is better, supposedly, but no. Daniel doesn't think so. So, original Magnum all the way. Just like I like original crispy, right? Is it called original crispy or just original? At Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I was confused too.
At Kentucky Fried Chicken. I don't know. I haven't been to Kentucky Fried Chicken since I was like 10. You've never been to a Kentucky Fried Chicken? Well, good on you. Have you been to a Taco Bell? Because Fernando hates Taco Bell.
Sadly, yes.
Is Fernando still watching? Yeah, sadly, right? It's terrible. Terrible.
Not a real Mexican.
It's definitely not real Mexican food. However, when you can get 17-pound burrito for like $1 and you're in college, I mean, it's like, here's this thing that you can barely carry because it's so heavy and it's $1.
Sure.
You know, when you're in college, what are you going to do?
You shooting?
I'm going to shoot. Thanks. Okay. By the way, guys, I'm still in TTL. Pretty. Now, this is where it's going to screw up because I'm just saying this. It's been pretty good, right? Because one of the very earliest questions was like, why are you using TTL, bro? And I was like, well, I don't know if they said bro. I just assume they said bro. Because I get that like using a light meter it can be more precise. It can give you some benefits, but Sometimes using TTL will just work, you know, and if it's working for you and it's fast, why not?
Where should I stand?
Come closer. There we go. Nope, not too close. There we go, perfect.
This is very bright.
It's very bright, right? The Magnum reflector is the brightest reflector that I'm currently using right now. All right. This is going to be punchy.com. There it is. Now, everybody who just bought the beauty dish, throw it away.
You would see it here if it was the lens.
It's weird.
I don't know.
Something's going on. We don't know. That is the Magnum reflector, right? It is snappy. It's contrasty. It's silver. It's called Magnum. And look at that. That's how we ship beauty. That's how we roll. Can you use a reflector with this? Yeah, you could.
Would you stop wrecking my reflectors? You're gonna breathe in the spray glue the next one, right? Jeez.
It's clear that I don't make these, because if I did, I would care more. All right, here we go. Magnum reflector with silver reflector, fully Brooklyn. That's how we do beauty in Brooklyn, right? Just like that.
Whoa.
Tune in to watch my 6-hour retouching video. Oh no, I'm sorry, it doesn't need any.
Wow, that was a little bit of a petty shot there.
No, it wasn't. Clean, right? If you hit the person with light the right way, it's going to make it nice and clean. You don't have to do a ton of stuff to it. Yes.
Is that a photographer's hack to actually learn how to light? Is that a portrait hack, learn how to light?
Actually use light. Oh, you know what I want to do?
Oh, you
I think, Dave, I need you.
want to blast it from the...
Well, unless you want, I want to do like a double-double. Do you want to help? You know what I could do? Well, do we have 2 silvers? I'm going to walk off camera for a few minutes. I don't think we have 2 silvers, do we?
Yeah, you have to. Unless you rack the other one.
I haven't seen the other one. Yeah, I see the thing that we make sounds. Let's just try that first, though. Let's hold it up over our head. I'm curious if we can get a little kick from above.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't...
Yeah, like just kind of like, yeah, so I'm thinking like, yeah, exactly. All right, we're just going to do a quick test here. We'll Seth's digging in the closet. All right, I'll leave the top of her head in the shot since that's what we're worried about. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that hair.
Switch it.
Bam. Oh, oh.
I know.
I know. Well, yeah. Finally. Oh, jeez. This is the critic I have here. This is my critic. This is what I live with.
No, I'm talking about my hair.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm talking about my hair.
Yes, no, maybe. That worked really well. Now I'd like to see us another silver if we got one. No?
There might be one in here.
Remember this?
Hey,
Oh, perfect.
soft silver.
That's a Daniel reflector. I'm too cheap to make anything, so I go to Home Depot and buy the insulation. Actually, I used this when I built a fluorescent light. So I built this fluorescent light, basically punched holes in this, got some Kino Flow clips.
Well, they're looking at the... Okay.
I built this fluorescent light, I punched holes in this stuff, got Kino Flow clips, wired the whole thing up, put it up on a stand, went to go get lunch, left the window open, came back to a shattered light because it blew over. And it made me really sad.
What is this?
Then I just went and bought a Kino Flow. All right, so but this is an extra piece. All right, you're gonna be under, you're gonna be over. All right. There we go, powerful. Oh, you look like you have a broken neck. Good. Good. Okay. Ooh.
Oh, you're getting stolen by bots.
Uh-oh, bots are attacking. What's that? What are the bots saying? This is like an ad for a chiropractor.
Oh, yeah.
It just looks right at me, no hands. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Good. There we go. Look at how majestic that hair is.
Majestic. Majestic.
If I had hair like that,
We should come up with a word you have to use at some point.
yes. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a Magnum reflector, right? Now, look, we're filling in underneath, right? To give, so we have shadow. Let's just look at the original Magnum shot. Okay, so original Magnum, really nice, right? Dark shadow here, filled in with the reflector, right?
I don't know if the one, the hair one's
Hair
a little bit.
versus there. See the edges of it? It's not picking up anything in the front of the hair, it's picking up in the back. Let's get the hair light in closer, even if we can. And I think we should switch to white for the face.
Yeah.
Actually, when you spend $400 for a Profoto beauty dish, it comes with a reflector. Actually, isn't this, doesn't, I think it's,
Sounds good.
what?
He's gonna get you
Hold on, doesn't somebody make a reflector like this that you shoot, who makes that? What's that?
Westcott.
Is it Westcott makes one of those? You get a free Westcott reflector with every Profoto.
Yeah, but this one actually fits.
There we go. That won't work. The Westcott one is, well, the actual Westcott's probably good.
There you go. Now you got a yellow tint coming up.
I did it into my hand. And I also muted myself so everybody online didn't get blasted, so. I blame Seth for that. Okay, in the shot, Dave. Oh, good, perfect. Okay. Oh yeah, white's better. You're squinting, but white's better. She's like, it's so bright. All right, one more. Last one. I wonder if I should pitch the light up so you get a little more juice.
Yeah, I'm getting not very much.
We're gonna try to give Dave a little bit more juice.
I just lost the laptop.
Lost the laptop.
No, wait, no. Sorry, I lost the camera, actually.
Which camera? We lost the camera.
That camera's dead.
Which one? The one that's plugged in?
No.
Oh, that one. Yes, because
Okay, we're almost out.
yeah, we're almost done. Guys, the cameras don't have a lot of battery life. Unlike the Blackmagics that were on for 6 years. All right, step forward.
We might just have the phone only.
Yeah, in the end, we're just gonna have the phone. All right, here we go. Modeling light on.
And the other camera is plugged in, so it won't. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Bright, I know. Good. All right, close your eyes. Okay, bring your chin up a smidge. I'll tell you when. Close. Oh, hold on, I got your whole head in there. 1, 2, 3, up, boom. There we go. Look at that hair. Holy guacamole. Oh, you know what though?
Hard light gives great textures.
You know what though? You know what though? One more. I think I gotta go vertical. You're perfect. I need to be vertical. Showing the entire top of your head in horizontal just is weird. Ready? Good. Sorry, I know people like it, but there we go. That's beautiful. That is quite nice. That is quite nice. Any questions, thoughts, concerns, anecdotes, coupons? If anybody wants to throw any coupon codes in the thing? No? No? Any questions? I think we're good.
You're going to lose
Good.
that camera soon. So.
We're going to lose this camera soon. Well, that's good. All right, guys, I'm going to give you a couple seconds to ask any questions if you've got them, because I know there's a delay. I know this is a little bit of a different format. We'll be back next week, though, doing some beauty, and hopefully Seth will laugh at some of the jokes. It's hard being here when every time we give a really funny joke, Seth just looks at you like this.
Maybe you just have to raise the bar. You ever think about that?
I try so hard. This is what he gives me.
All right.
I got to come home to this every night. All right, guys, subscribe.
Follow me at.
Follow me at. You can follow me, Daniel Norton, photographer. Paulina is P27.
PAURUIZ 27.
Yeah, you got to change that. Yeah. The person who sent me a thing asking, should you use your name? Yeah. Somebody have your name? Is that what happened? Did somebody have your name? Is that why you don't just have your name? I know it's the worst when somebody has your name. Somebody had my name too. Anyways, Daniel Norton, photographer. If you guys want to follow, make sure you subscribe to Adorama if you haven't already. We'll be back next week, same time, 5 o'clock. So don't show up at Adorama, the store. Come online to see us. Going to do some beauty photography. Send me any DMs or whatever if you guys want to see some different stuff, because we're changing it up here. We got a new space for the next few videos. So if you guys want to see anything, let me know. And thanks for watching. For some reason, I'm doing a lot of saluting lately. I don't know what that's a new thing.